This demonstration we're going to look at AppLocker policies. So in order to create AppLocker policies, what we need to do is launch up our group policy management console. The purpose of these AppLocker policies is to allow us to either restrict or allow software access. In order to do that, like we said, we have to create a group policy in order to do this. So what I've done here, I've come to my group policy management console through Server Manager. I've come down to my group policy objects below my forest, and now what I'm going to do here is just create a new group policy. And I'm going to call this one WordPad restriction policy. Right, we'll click OK. Next thing to do is just edit this policy. And now what we'll do is we'll put these restrictions in place. So we'll maximize this up a little bit. And what we're going to do here, it's under computer configuration. We're going to go for policies and then Windows settings. Within Windows settings, we're then going to go to security settings. And then within our security settings, next thing to do here is look for our application control policies. So if we pull this across a little bit, just so we can see these things. So there you go, application control policies. And the next thing to do here is we're actually going to go for an app locker policy. So we go to our app locker policy. We'll click on our executable rules. And now what we'll do is we'll just right click and create a new rule. Right, on the before we begin page here, we'll just select next. On the permissions, we'll ensure that we do deny. And then what we'll do here is we'll deny everyone, so we'll select next. On the conditions page, we'll select publisher and select next. Then on the publisher page here, what we're going to do here is we're just going to browse through. We're going to click on computer, go to C:, we'll then go to program files, Windows NT, double click on accessories, and then we'll go for wordpad.exe. We'll then select open, and what we'll do here is we'll just move the slider up here to file name. But as we can see, we could have file version, we could have a product name, publisher, any publisher, so we're actually restricting based off this file name here. We'll then select our next button. In the case of exceptions here, we're not going to bother with any exceptions, so we'll just select next again. We'll then select create. It's telling us here that we need to create some default rules, so we'll say yes to that. Now we've done that, we need to ensure that we do enforce these rules, so we'll just right click at this point here. And all we'll do here is we'll just click on properties. And in the properties, on our enforcement, what we'll do here is we'll just look down here, we'll select configured. We'll enforce the rules at this point here. What we'll then do is we'll then click OK, so we're going to enforce these executable rules. Right, the next thing we want to do here is we just want to make sure in the system services that the application identity service does actually start automatically. So to do that, all we'll do is in computer configuration, we'll go to policies, and then within policies, next thing we'll do is come to Windows settings, and then go to our security settings. Within our security settings, we'll go to System Services. We'll then double click Application Identity, and what we'll do here is we'll define this policy and ensure we have this set to automatic. Then we'll select OK. We'll close down our Group Policy Editor, and we'll close down the Group Policy Management console as well. Right, the next thing we want to do here is apply this Group Policy object to our Active Directory domain. So what we'll do is we'll come back into the Group Policy Management console, and then with our Group Policy Management console here, what we want to do here is just find our group policy, and we want to link that existing group policy to our datum domain. So we'll right click here, link an existing group policy object, we'll go with our WordPad restriction policy, and we'll select OK. So as we can see, this is now applied to our Active Directory domain. The next thing to do here is just actually force through this group policy. Now what we could do is restart the machine. All I'm going to do here is I'm actually just going to do it through through the command prompt. So in the command prompt here, we'll just do a gp update and then a /force. We'll hit return at this point here. It's now going to go away and just update these policies. So this will do the computer and the user policies. This is nearly done. So this is now done. So the next thing to do now will be to go to our client machine and ensure that this group policy has taken effect. So we've now logged into our Windows 8 workstation. We've went to the folder where wordpad.exe exists, and what we'll do here is we'll just try to run WordPad. And what we should find is that the group policy restriction is in place, and as we can see, the program is blocked by the group policy. And for more information, contact your system administrator. So that has proven that our applocker rule has indeed worked. And that's the end of this demonstration. Thanks very much.